Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another game of One Piece. We're going to be playing a game with Nefeltari Vivi going against Sugar from OP10. End of your turn, if you have a character with Don Quixote Pirate type with a power of 6,000 or more, up to 1 of your Dawn is active. Okay, let's take a look. They chose to go second, that means we're on the odd curve here. This is about the best we could ask for the odd curve. I think we're going to have to keep that. That's pretty solid overall. I just wish we had a searcher because they like to play a lot of their searchers, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah, there it is. They didn't use it, though, which I think is an odd choice. Well, I think we immediately snap pick that and put them all back just like so. And then we say, go ahead. This will attack here, it'll die. It is what it is. But our turn's gonna look like this. Yep, they go for their search, unfortunately, because we'll have to kill it. They find a Doflamingo 8 cost, which is good for them. Gonna use a Dawn event to do something. I'm gonna attack the Sugar, so I'm hoping they won't want to waste a card there, but we'll see. Dude, a little late on the draw there, but that's fine. Well, that's not bad to have either. I'm going to give that minus 2,000. I'm going to give it minus 3,000. There you go. I'm guessing they activate the event that lets them draw a card. Or search. I'm not super familiar with Sugar, but I do know they have a bunch of events that just do that. They're trying to kill my dudes. Rude. There you go. It was very tempting to just give the event up there, but next turn is going to be this into this again. Gonna be looking for some draw cards too. It's unfortunate to have given that up. No, we want cards right now. Yeah, that's not really what I was looking for, but fine. This is the one that's going to be kind of annoying because it is anti-removal. So we're going to have 2 Dawn left over. We're going to leave 1 for here. Do we just go 6 and then 7 at them? Probably. I don't want to get my blockers up. Really? Save that for next turn when I want to minus this guy way, way down. Mm-hmm. We're up to 8 Dawn. There'll be a 10 next turn. We get a life out of them, and then we're going to deploy this. Deploy this. Whereas we're putting it at the bottom. Do I just keep this for next turn? Just to play it? It's very tempting. We're putting this down there for sure. Yeah, because we're only at 7. We're going to be at 9 next turn. So we're not going to even be at 10. I kind of do want to keep this. I think I might just keep that to play it down. We've got so many blockers. We're going to send that back. There you guys go. Oh, we've done a nice job of board flooding, but our board doesn't actually represent a ton of value. But because I will be able to do this, I'm going to be able to get rid of this thing, which is really good because I need them not to be able to protect their guys. Wow, they get a blocker. And they search the bullet string. That's unfortunate. Do I give one of these up early? Yeah. Well, you can have it. I'd love to get to play that, but I don't think I can, because this guy's on field. We do not find what we are looking for. I was really hoping to find another Nefeltari Vivi, but that was greedy, because we've already seen 2 of them. So we will take this. Let's finally go back just like that. Nice. Okay, here's where I just make sure that that card doesn't get to live. What do we want to tack into it? Probably, we'll just start with a 7. That would be an event plus something in order to save that. They let the Monet go. We need this thing gone. It's a nice igloo. Gets you pretty close. And a 2K. And the bullet string. Thought about putting the Dawn there, but I want to keep it for this event. I'm going to just eat your hand alive. I'll get 2 cards out of it. Wow. I could go again. Nah, that's probably bad. We'll do it again next turn. It's fun. It's fun. Ah, the Rush Shanks. Hello, old friend. We'll do this. No blocker. Think you're the only one with events? Now the Shanks can go at it. Yeah, you can go anywhere you want. Resolve. Probably this dude. Let's see. You may return 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck. This is not a Don Quixote pirate type. We're going to get rid of this. Bye-bye. You know, we're just going to make sure it goes. Yeah, got him. GG. And we could have done it to the next one as well. Because we would have had the blocker. It would have been the same thing, except that they would have had 1 less attack. Would have really liked that. Slow beam, bullet string, and a 10 cost. No, they were in trouble. With Sugar, it always seems to be a board battle, and these make the difference, because this guy, protecting from all our own KO and trash effects, is really good. But being able to minus him by 4k just makes it so that they have a really hard time keeping him alive. And then being able to get rid of the Shanks with the double one of these is really good. So you really want to prioritize the Nami in this matchup. All right, let me know what you guys think. What I do right, what I do wrong. Is Sugar going to be good enough for the Heroines battle? Do you think she'll make the top cut? I don't know, you tell me. Guess that's all I got for you, though. So as always, good games and good luck. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another game of One Piece. We're going to be playing Nefeltari Vivi from EVO3, and we're going against Sugar from OP10. Ooh, I don't know if I like this hand. I do like having the Searchers. Our opponent chose to go second? Keep it, I guess. We're going to take this. All our 2Ks are going to go to the bottom of the deck. We'll pass over. Going to play this next turn, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we will not get to attack because this gives our active leader minuses. This is our go-to, of course, here. We'll just end our turn there. We got Leave Up a Dawn. We've got defensive events. They're going to have to attack our character. Could defend our character with an event, which would be kind of fun. Is it worth doing? Let's see what they develop as a character. They are going to develop something as a character. Is it worth doing? Let's say no blocker, and I'm actually going to give you an event. Our hand isn't very good, so I'm going to use the event to keep it alive because I want to go searching pretty hard. It's a little bit of an odd play, but the circumstances aren't bad. They develop a blocker. Oh, cheated out and ramp. Look at them go. Okay, well, let's start with this. We don't have anything good to cheat out with it, but I still think this is probably our best grab here. I know both Rogers are on the bottom of my deck, which is good information to have. So I can make this a 4,000 versus my 7. See what they want to do about it. That's going to be a hard ask, because it's going to be a +4. And the nice part is it'll... Yeah. That gets you up there. Okay. All right, they do get us up. Okay. They still have to clear the E around. And we do have a blocker now that's going to be an issue for them. They do play rush events. It's so tempting. Nah, we'll let it go. Very tempting to keep it. Cheated out 2 of these guys now. Alright, sugar is going to become an issue. So this is obviously going to the bottom. I think I might keep this and play it right now. Which means this isn't going to be useful. Oh, I can't play characters after I play the Nefeltari Vivi. Oh, it is what it is. Attack 7 at your face. They want cards. Here in a 2K, maybe? I don't know. They're pretty low on cards. Don't want to play this nice big old Durgan next turn. This pudding's probably a dead card. They didn't even have a 2K. And they go way down real fast. Okay. I think Sugar might actually be a pretty good contender for the Heroine's Cup. You guys let me know what you think. We've just developed a full field of blockers, and so have they, surprisingly. Well, you can have it. They play a Sugar of their own. They're going to do a nice search here. We'll, of course, attack this into that. To start with, they find a Virgo. They play a second one. What are they going to do with all that, Dawn? This is just a nice 4K counter. But it gives them a +2 for the turn. We'll free block that. There's the Virgo. Do you dare attack with this? Okay, well. I can't play the dragon this turn. It's unfortunate. Forgot I'm on 9 Dawn. What are you gonna do here, buddy? Let's it go. I do like that Shanks. That's a nice option. We're going to put some cards on the bottom, though. I don't think either of these are going to come up. I'm going to attack with this Nami this turn as well. They don't actually have a lot of cards, which is really nice for us. They do have these nice 2 blockers. Okay, so they go up to 7 for the turn. The nice part is they have so few cards that it doesn't really... They've shown me they have no 2K counters. I've seen you don't have any 2K counters. I think I'm just going to continue to pressure. We're at full health as well. Okay, they give it up. They're going to need to do some big moves here, so I'm going to probably just pop this next turn, which will be nice. I can even pop a blocker and threaten them pretty hard. We will give up a blocker this turn, just because our board is full. Well, that's your big attack. I'm excited for our 10-Dawn turn. I want to drop this and go. That's not advisable. We'll go no blocker, and we'll give him a nice 2K. Now they've got these, which they should not attack with, because 2 blockers is the only reason they're not dead. Free block that one. And we still have our leader ability online as well. Oh dear. What would we like to trash? Probably this. I think they just lose now, though. Only 3 cards and no Dawn up. We'll just pop one of their blockers. Then we've got a bunch of attacks. Six is fine. They've shown me they don't have a lot. How will you respond? 6, 7. Okay. So they've got 1 card left, right? I can pop one of these. They'll block one of them. The 12 is always getting in. And this is likely for an event. They're just bluffing at this point, probably. How bad's the wreckage? The relay? I think we just go for it and say, get this out of here. Virgo's going to protect. Gives up a card. Says no. Doesn't matter what happens. He's giving me the blocker every time. Okay. Okay, so we can save 2 of our guys, I think. We've got a lot of counter in hand. They've got no blockers left. What are you gonna do, Sugar? I'm very curious to see what their plan is. If they got another Rush Shanks, that'd be pretty wild. Give me my whole board minus 1,000. Oh, you're going after my life? That's not a good idea. I've got a lot of counter to deal with that. I've got a blocker left. You think you're gonna kill me? No, he says I'm trying to get rid of your guys. Yeah, we'll go... You don't have enough guys to clear my board. I just want my board to live. No blocker. What will you do now? I win. GG. Yep, we got him, ladies and gentlemen. What a good game. $2K, a brick, and a 1K in life. Yeah, that hit into my life. Was never advisable because I took it immediately because there was no way for them to kill me. I had a blocker and 4 life and like I think I had 9K counter in hand. That's too much. Let's see, like 7K counter. So they just couldn't get through enough to threaten to kill me, and I just needed my board to wipe them back. All right, what do you guys think? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Do you think Sugar is going to be a contender in the Heroines Cup? I don't know. But I do like Nefeltari Vivi. She is going to be solid. I think that's all I got for you guys, though, so I'll catch you in the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the deck list for Nefeltari Vivi. It's an EBO 3-liter, 5,000 attack, and it's got a once per turn ability. If your character with a base cost of 4 or more would be KO'd, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. That does include by battle. It's got an activate main. You may rest as leader, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. Then up to 1 of your characters without a when attacking effect gains rush during the turn. There's only 1 when attacking effect in the deck. So we're basically just trying to give everything rush. We've got 4 copies of Nefeltari Vivi. It's a 1-cost 2K, 1K counter searcher. It looks at the top 4 and tries to find an Alabaster or Straw Hat crew with a cost of 2 or more. And then of course we've got Heroine, which is a 2-cost 3K searcher. You may rest this character, give your active leader minus 5,000 power for the turn. Look at the top 5 for an Alabaster Kingdom type card. So it's a continual searcher that's going to eat an attack as a pseudo blocker, which is really nice. And I've found that in this format, it doesn't actually matter that much if you don't attack on your first turn, because a lot of the decks you kind of want to starve anyways. I'm thinking of stuff like Boa Hancock, Nami, those kinds of decks. It's fine if you just don't go swinging at them, but it really helps to have these on lock for later, because so many decks want to try and punch into you early when you don't have any blockers. They end up ignoring this card when they shouldn't. And then we've got 2 Koza, which is a 3-cost 3K 2,000 counter. It's got a when attacking effect, and you can give your active leader minus 5,000 power during this turn. This character has plus 2,000 power until your next turn. It's just a good 2K. It'll be replaced by anything else that's got the Alabaster Kingdom type 2K or Straw Hat 2K in the future when it gets rotated out, but for now it's fine. And then we've got 4 copies of Tony Chopper, which is a 4-cost 4K 2K counter. And it's got blocker, and on our opponent's turn, it gains plus 2,000 power. It's just a really good 2K, because it can be used as a blocker, and it can be cheated out with so many different things. So it's really useful. And then, of course, we've got Nami, one of the new EVO 3 cards. A 5-cost, 7K, no counter. On play, you may give your active leader minus 5,000 power during this turn and draw a card. Then activate main once per turn if your leader has the Alabasta type, which ours does. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. That's a really good effect. And then we've got a 5-cost, 6K, 2K counter in Nefeltari Cobra. Just a good 2K, nice and searchable for us. And then, of course, we have got Ben Beckman, a 7-cost, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter, on play, trash up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. He's just really solid for getting out all those pesky on KO effects. Any of Boa's characters, being able to trash them rather than KO them is really good. Any of the new yellow cards, like the new Nami that has an on KO effect that lets them play stuff out. The new Robin card that does a damage when it's KO'd. Being able to minus it down with something like this or leader ability and then play this. You don't have to use your leader ability. You can do it. You can rest your leader and give minus 2,000 power to something and not give anything a rush and still use the Ben Beckman and trash out stuff that has 8,000 power using just your leader ability, or 9 if you've got a Nami on board already. A lot of times it's worth doing to get this trash effect rather than getting it rush. It is really important that you guys know that. Then we've got our big boy in Shanks, a 10-cost 12K attacker. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 10,000 power or less. It can remove big bodies, but sometimes we might have to either have 2 of Nami's on field or use leader ability and then play it out and not give it rush. Sometimes that is worth doing if you need to remove a big body, like say an Edward Newgate or the new Luffy blocker that's being run in the new starter deck Luffy, or the new Jewelry Bonnie is running it. That's giving their leader plus 2K. Sometimes it's nice to just trash out that, or KO that leader. Not the leader. KO the large blockers. And then, of course, we've got Roger, just a 10-cost, 13K, no counter rush unit that when either you or your opponent have 0 life, they cannot activate blocker. You just win the game. And then for the blue cards, I slotted in 2 copies of Pudding because Pudding goes in pretty much any deck that it can go in, because being able to rip apart your opponent's hand is just good. 4-cost, 4K, 1K counter. On play, your opponent returns their hand cards to their deck, shuffles their deck, and then they draw 5 cards. In the end game, it is worth just playing this, even if they have 5 cards, because they probably curated those 5 cards. And if you can make them draw 5 random cards, they don't get to keep their counter events. They get a random chance of maybe getting one back. So it's just good enough. And then our only when attacking effect in the deck is a 4-cost 6K, no counter brick in Cavendish. When attacking, once per turn, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. This deck really likes to filter, so being able to keep this on board for multiple turns is just really good. It is the best 4-cost, 4-Dawn play the deck has. You want to go second with this deck, you want to play Eagerom on turn 1, and you want to play Cavendish on turn 2. And then, of course, going into our next card, this is what you want to play on turn 3. A 5-cost, 4K, 1,000 counter blocker. On play, play up to 1 Alabaster or Straw Hat Crew type character card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. Then you cannot play any character cards on your field during this turn. This is a really good card, and it makes the whole deck tick. You need to find this. You want to use this to play either the Nami is a good priority if you want to play an attacker, because it'll draw you the card, and it puts up 2 bodies, both a blocker and an attacker, and you're going to give this rush. And then if you want to play more defense, you can play this into this and give yourself 2 blockers and filter some cards. If your leader's multicolored, which ours is, a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter, blocker, you get to draw 3 and place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck. So if you find cards you really want, you just can't use them this turn, you want to use them next turn, just put them back on the top. But this is a really important part, is being able to find this Nefeltari Vivi and go into either of these. You can go into the chopper if you're in a tight spot, if you just need the blocker and you don't have the Nami. But this is just a really solid component of this deck. And then some flexible top end is a 10 cost 12k Kaido. On play, if your opponent has 3 or less life cards, draw 4 cards. It's a really good effect. You just got to remember to make sure your opponent has 3 or less life, but just being able to draw 4 and give yourself a 12k rush body is just really solid in the deck. And then we've got a 1 cost event in But If We Ever See Each Other Again, Will You Call Me Your Shipmate? It's a counter. It gives Vivi plus 4k or one of our characters plus 4k. It's a really good event, but we're only running 3 events, and I'll get to that in just a second. This is a 1 cost event in Phoenix Pineapple. Main, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, place up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Counter, up to one of your leaders gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. It's a pretty good event just for getting rid of chump blockers, and it's an okay counter. Here's the problem. As soon as this deck gets up to 10 Dawn, you don't ever get to play events again, because all you want to be doing is slamming your 10 cost bodies. You want to be playing Shanks every turn, you want to be playing Kaido every turn, or you want to be playing Roger. Those cards are going to take up all 10 of your Dawn every single turn. If you're not doing that, you haven't set yourself up very well. So more likely than not, you're not going to have the counter to use these events. So if you want to have these as really good counter, they're going to get played on somewhere between your 6 Dawn turn and your 9 Dawn turn. Any of those 2 turns, that's your window. If you don't play them on that turn, they're going to get trashed for your leader effect to protect one of your guys, or they're going to get shuffled away. You just don't want to use them. You're going to trash them out with stuff like the Cavendish, or bottomed with the Nami. So just be aware that if you're running a fair amount of events, you're just not going to be able to use them a lot after you get to the top end of your game, unless you're playing something like a Nefeltari Vivi because you're being pressured really hard and you need some extra blockers. Then you might get a chance, but most of the time it's just going to be these 10 costs. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there is Nefeltari Vivi. Let me know what you guys think. It's a really good leader. I don't know where she slots in the Heroine's battle ranking, but I like her a lot. I think she's going to be toward the top, but I don't know if she's going to be able to compete with things like Jewelry Bonnie, or she's doing real well into Boa, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I think that's all I got. So as always, good games and good luck.